Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome. Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful day today. I know I am. And feeling rather productive. I know, productive Friday. Honestly, at this point, I might just switch our game days and our dev days and game days, because it seems like every Monday I'm just like, ugh, but Tuesday and Fridays I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. So we might just flip it. It's actually not a bad idea, because essentially then we have like a really big brain day, then follow up with a day off. Hey, let's go for it. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Got a good amount of water. Got your projects, or if you're working on stuff, or snacks if you just want to vibe, either or. I'm not here to judge. As far as what we're doing today, we are going to, I think we're done researching accessibility options. Now we are going to decide what we're going to try to utilize at least this stage of development. In this case, we'll do mostly interactions. So the way I'm thinking about it is that we'll do the main one first, aka the click interactions. We'll also be discussing how and make a decision on how we want the player to make interactions. I kind of wish that we had some way to play test this at this particular stage, because I think this would be one of those things where we can get proper feedback on. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't see y'all. Hey, Gina Tad, how you doing? Since I've updated and removed stuff from OBS, I now don't see chat in the OBS anymore. I just noticed that. I was like, wait a second. I'll find a way to fix that. It's whatever. But not now. Instead, what are we going to do? You're hanging in there? Having a... It's just one of those days for you? Over on my neck of the woods, I will say that it's a very rainy day, which, in my opinion, is a very good thing. I like rainy days. I love rainy days. I have like the opposite. I don't know what it is, where it's just like people get down when it rains and they're happy when it's sunshine. I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to relax. I love it. This is one of those days where I stay inside and play video games. But yeah, other than that, I'm also kind of hanging in there. Hopefully your day gets better, Gina Tad. So, we are going to, I think, just move forward with the click being able to make a, let's see, why don't you not want to show? Let me go ahead and switch this. Capture cursor is on. Why don't you want to capture my cursor, Gabe? Hey, yo. Come on now. No, I can. Okay, I'm just dumb. Don't mind me. I'm not used to utilizing for Discord straight away. You want to click to show things play too much at once human? Am I? Yeah. For real. Well, I mean, if I'm just like, hey, what over here? It's like, okay, we're gonna move this guy and be able to move it over here. If you don't see my cursor, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're going to be able to interact with the resources, aka we have the police, ambulance, and fire truck, represented by a blue square, a green plus sign, and a red square as of right now. We're not going to make anything look pretty yet, because that would kind of distract us from making an actual good game with good mechanics, because it looks good. So where we click it and then click where we want it to go. I think it's going to be just like the first version of how we want it, the interaction to be. However, what we should do is also kind of figure out a way. So this is like all the notes I was taking for all of the accessibility stuff. So we're gonna just kind of like boil it down for interactions. So for interaction, we want to be able to have the interact button be customizable. We want the selectability of objects not be mouse dependent. I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell dependent, but I'm running with it anyway. AKA, like, if they just used arrow keys, they could select it, right? They don't need like a mouse to make it happen. The other two that is on our radar that is more in depth, I should say, is the ability to, where it's like touchscreen controls, as well as looking into eye tracker selection as well. So unfortunately, we have a bit of a heavy plate, a big plate here. But I think our first steps, regardless, is just finding a code that works, that allows us to implement the logic of select this thing and then move it to this place. And then once we get to that point, then we can kind of add in like, okay, so how do we make it so it's customizable? How do we make it so that it reacts to touchscreen controls? Like things of that nature. So let's see. If we want, let's look up. So being able to point and click, it might be a new project. Was there one that I downloaded that is more along the lines of this? It might be Godot. And then we go to Asset Library Projects. And then we will do click. Where I definitely wrote down things to keep an eye on. No. Demo's a demo. Here we go. Operating system, saving, loading, scene changer, GUI input mapping. We'll have to look up input mapping. Text to speech. Text to speech is something that we're definitely gonna have to look at. I'm not seeing where I've written down a demo example of point and click coding for Godot. Let's see. So we're gonna have to look for it. And to make sure that y'all are seeing what I'm seeing, we're just gonna, don't abuse this now. We're gonna do this. At least for now. Third person controller, platform shooter. We want a, maybe, honestly, FNAF. Rough remake of the first FNAF entry? Maybe? Maybe. Alright, I'm gonna do something. It may crash OBS. We'll see. Okay. I've now, on the other screen, I have the OBS up as well as the chat up on the other thing. It's janky as hell, but it allows me to see it. Can I save project in selected path? Alright. Let me just turn this off just so that y'all don't get to see all my folders. Not that I have sus folders or anything. That'd be crazy. That'd be nutty. Game, no. Not Godot games. Here we go. Where's the Godot games? Where is it? 3D. Main game. Where? Hiding things? No. I would never hide anything from you, chat. Where's the FNAF? I just downloaded it. Oh, wait, cancel. Install. But I already opened it? Hold on. Let's see. Let us see. I just did it. Go down. Because we have these three, but we just knew. No. We did FNAF. Because FNAF would have the coding that would allow us that when click, something happens. That's what I want to look at. That's what I want to see an example of. Rough remake of the first. Okay, we download it. We put it for Godot games. Install it. Okay. It's not downloading it. It's just reopening what we already have up in a new thing. Okay. Gotta love. Gotta love Godot, or gotta love when trying to make a game being like, I want to see this example, and the game's just like, no, you don't get to see this. All right. Well, if that's what we're gonna have to do, then I guess we are gonna have to go back to Google. This is back of where we're doing like looking at all the different possible accessibility options. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna do Godot script for point and click games. We'll make a point and click it, but I don't know where to start. Series upon introduction to Godot will get you started on the editor and the engine. Go through the whole section. It teaches you the basics of using Godot, and you'll need any type of game. I'm that new. They're like, oh, I'm not that new. I'm that new. Creating instances, scripting languages, creating your first script. See also. Okay, make a sprite 2D. You can create sprite 2D nodes. We've made that. Attach the script. Okay, cool. Should appear, should open. Print hello. I don't need it to print hello world. You're new, not old new. Or am I new old? Or maybe I'm old. I am new in the sense of like not super coding literate, So I can't, like, I do not know off the top of my head, like, oh, I just need to create a script to allow movement of this particular thing to follow this path. And I'm like, no. Yes, the new oldies. Exactly. Like, the same degree that 90s music is considered oldies. Is it considered oldies now? Is oldies like 40 years or plus or what? I think it was 30 years. I think if it's 30 years old, it's considered oldies. So 90s musics count. Turning around. Remember, I know. Okay, let's go back. I think we have something already in place because when we start it, let's go back to display because it's easier than when I would try to make it. So when we make the game, you hear me say sound. So we hit last call. Sound and music. So right now we have like an indicator showing where my mouse is located. So it's kind of like it's showing the path of this. So we have a script already in here ready to go. What we want is that we want to give, I think the first step is to give each of these resources like a rigid body. We also need to manipulate the screen size of that computer because that is a squished map. And then, so we're gonna, hopefully by the end of today, we'll be able to click this blue and I'm like, I move from here to here. And then it'll just move the path that we have created for it and it will know to go there. Hopefully. So, we go to our scripts. Player? Let's see here. Character body 2D. Well, here's the animated sprite 2D. I see ambulance 2D and fire truck 2D. Where is police? Here we go. Police 2D. The police, and then the navigation agent 2D. So this is what is like using for navigation. Let me go ahead and just boop that real quick. Get those bots out of my chat. Then navigate section 2D. So we need to go, there's like, oh, police, here it is. So in this case, the function is the nav target position, get global mouse position. So it always knows the global mouse position. That's fine, I think. Next, I was thinking maybe what we could do is like get global mouse click. No, it's always position. Global. No, it's mouse position. Now get next path position minus global position, direction normalized. Sure. Let's go back. Rotation and angular speed. So I think before getting even to the script, creating instances, No. No, the script is good. So we make a sprite 2D. We make it a texture. We give it a script. Let's look at our main menu script real quick. Because our menu script allows an interactability here. Action pressed, escape. Then something happens. Okay. Show UI layer. Pause game, resume game, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Start pressed, options pressed, quit pressed. This is for indicating the different buttons, but I want to make it selectable. Godot, making an object selectable. YouTube video, save me.
Hello. You'll be able to make exclusive selections, meaning that once you select an object, the other object, and keep selecting objects as you want to. So rename it to selection. You can use a built-in script here to go before changing the selection, because for instance we are going to emit the signal when the selection changes.
Got you. It's an area 2D. We don't want area 2D. Selection toggled. So it's a toggleable selection. We don't want a selection toggle.
Change when this selection state changed.
Let's see.
They used to have like a toggle. It's signal to communicate when this area got selected. So let's say selection.
So signal is a thing that makes it so that when we select something, it tells something. It tells either you the player or another part of the like different scripts that are like, hey, this is selected. I don't think we need that. I think if I understand this correctly enough, the reason that they went about the signal route is because it's a permanent selection versus... Okay, I don't think this is necessarily what we want to do, but we'll... Selection value select. Okay.
On inputs. So for instance, I have here in my project settings, a input action that's called select. That is the left button of the mouse. So I'm going to use that select for my implementation. And also we are going to have a variable that communicates the current state of the selection of this object, of the 0 to 2D. So by default it will start the selected.
Okay.
And we are going to...
The selected action equals select and selected equals false is applicable for what we're doing. That makes sense.
Encapsulate this variable into a set selected method, because we are going to execute some procedures before we actually just in the meantime, before changing the selection, because for instance we are going to emit the signal when the selection changed, when the selection state changed. So let's implement this set selected method. Selected, it receives a selection. Okay, set get. The first thing that we are going to do is to check if the selection is true, because if this selection is true, we need to check if this object is exclusive or not, so that we can deselect all other objects and make only this one selected, right? So we are going to make a method that is called make.
That makes sense. So in order to make sure, we need to make sure that you can't just select every single resource. But at the same time, we kind of do, right? Because we want the ability to be able to select multiple resources at once. That's how you send multiple vehicles at once, right? Yeah.
Exclusive, just create it down here, and for now, let's just leave it blank. We are going to include these objects, the selected objects, into a selected group, node group, because this will make it easier for us to deselect.
This is becoming more and more not what we're doing. Focus select on how to click 3D objects in Godot. Advanced object picking. Can I make objects selectable and drag and droppable? Godot. Selecting object and clicking where to it goes. That's basically it. Picking 3D objects on mouse click. No, this is not what I want. This is why I wanted to find a demo. Because Google's just going to be like, hey, you mean all these other things? No. So, Godot, clicking on object. How to detect a click on a sprite. What does that even mean? Hold on, I want to know what it means. Sprite. Script. If input mouse button and event pressed and event press index button left. If get rect has point to local event position, you clicked on sprite. Okay, well, let's see if that works. Yeah, I'm noticing some of the comments on here that are saying the mouse button left. One thing actually we will do, let's see here. Before I just move in, actually, let's go ahead and get a notepad out, and we're gonna write down function input event if event is, you know what, no. We're just gonna put it directly in. What am I doing? And we're just gonna move this over here. I won't be able to read what you're saying for a little bit, but just don't go crazy. And then we're gonna want police. We're gonna do function input events. If event is input event mouse button and event pressed and event button index equals, is that 2 equals? Mouse button left. If get rect has point to local event position. Print you clicked on police. Okay. We'll see if that works. Well, first, it doesn't like this. It does not like this. So let's see if I copied that over correctly. If getRect has points to local event position, double parentheses. What does it say when I try to do it? getRect. Oh. I think that's getRectangle. So in this scenario, it's talking about the rectangle of the sprite, maybe? Maybe? Let's see. Let's see here. Collision shape. Input events. Interesting. An input event may be something that we'll look into. On area input event. In that case, for our police car, it is defined as input event. Good. All right. Then if the event is... If event is input event mouse button. Looks like they have a factor. We're going to do mouse button left and process equals true. So they kind of like shortened it a little bit. Let's see here. If input mouse button equals mouse button left. If event button index. Oh, they kind of did it just a little bit differently. So let's try it their way. Input button. If event is input mouse button, then that. Then if event button index equals mouse button left and event pressed equals true, then it prints that. Okay. Unable to write for locked or lacking permissions. What? What do you mean? Oh. Close program. I guess I was still running in the background. Now save. All right. Start it. It's not... Doesn't seem to want to... Well, I don't really have a debug menu either, to be fair. Let's see. Input ray pickable. So they also have a collision shape. Do we need to add a collision shape to ours? Because we have the sprite 2D. We have the sprite, right? But we don't really have anything to like collision. Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a collision shape 2D. What are you telling us? A shape must be provided for the collision 2D to function. Please create a shape resource for it. Shape is a square. A rectangle shape. Can I control? Is it good? Let's look at the 2D space. Let's see here. Police 2D, navigation, shape 2D. It's definitely to the correct one. This is the texture. That's the offset, etc. That's the position. So that's all good to go. And then this one, honestly, isn't anything yet. It's the... Basically, like, I have an animated sprite ready to go. But because I didn't create the animations yet, because I don't want to spend the time making animations for something that I haven't even finished making yet, it's just kind of in the group. Just vibing. Scale... Visible. One-way collision. Disabled. I mean, it's definitely... It's definitely there. What's the debugger? Navigation server map query failed because it is made before the first map synchronization. I don't know what that means. Okay. There's a disabled. Debug color. I'm thinking... I don't know what it would be good for. Position, rotation. Yeah, we're not seeing anything change. Visibility, texture, process. Let me see something. Let's do -U. Yeah, no, that's nothing. Let's see. So that's obviously something reacting to it, right? So here that they have it so that it prints whatever kind of button you select on it. Let's hear.
By default, our area node doesn't listen for mouse picking events, so we need to enable it. To do so, click on the area node, and then in the inspector, check the Input Ray Pickable On box.
It's in the area node? So they have a sphere, then a sphere, or the kind of like the like, what do you call it? It's not box, but viewport. And then they have an area. Let's see, could we do clicking on 2D object? Point and click navigation. Oh, thank God.
Wait. Of course, as usual, enabled. Platformer. Animations, character controllers, and more. Game. Let's dive in and scene, regardless of the actual obstacles in the level. Built-in D, so it's movable via code, but it's a unit node, that is a character body 2D, so it's movable via code, but
They say?
So, suppose that we have a unit node, that is a character body 2D, so it's movable via code, but it still works with physics, as we discussed a while ago in this other episode of the series.
What is a unit? Is that something that I have not, or is the police the unit? Let me see. Doesn't look like it's... They just use the term unit. It isn't like a specific thing. Gotcha.
We'll give it a new C# script called unit.cs, and inside it we'll override our input method to define our own event handling logic. More precisely, we'll start by checking that our input is indeed a mouse click. To do this, we usually stack 3 checks together. First, we validate that our input event is of type input event mouse button, using the C# is pattern.
Okay.
Then we check that the mouse button was just released and not pressed. And finally, we check that the button that was pressed was the right one. Note that, of course, you could totally check whether the left mouse...
I'm noticing, like, as I'm listening to all these instructions, it's more and more where I'm just like, because, like, one of the accessibility options was to make sure, to pretty much implement a 0.5 second delay of input, right? So that way, we should add that to our thing. Add delay to input. There you go. Because people who like have trouble with like things clicking multiple times because your fingers are shaky, or you know they're not as rigid isn't the right word, but it's the word that comes in my brain. So if the event is input mouse button E double and what did they say for the double and of the exclamation mark?
The C# is input event mouse button, using the C# is pattern. Then we check that the mouse button was just released and not pressed. And finally, we check that the button...
So I think the double and is not.
That was pressed was the...
Or maybe exclamation E is not pressed.
Note that, of course, you could totally check whether the left mouse button was just pressed, simply by switching up those checks. And that's totally up to you and to your specific use case.
Let's use it for now. Where is my policeman? Why are you so small? No, you're... There. We're gonna do... You know what, we're not gonna delete that yet. Let's just do... The public override void input is an interesting choice. Something tells me that's more of a, if I'm utilizing a character to override it. I don't think there's harm in doing it. I just don't see a need in doing it. Of overriding void input. Let's do it for now. Like, if anything, it's just an additional line of code that isn't necessarily need to be there because there is no original code to make it try to do things, but better be safe than sorry. So, public override void input event at events, and then we have if at event is input event mouse button e double and. Okay, I gotta know, what is e double and in coding? I'm looking at that now. What does e mean in coding? E, maybe e double and. In programming that use double and, it's the Boolean and operator. So the double and is an and. Okay, then what is... I think exclamation mark E is not. I think exclamation mark is not. It's the correct format of double. Nope, none of these are applicable. It's just going into mathematical E, and I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm asking, but alright. Appreciate you, I guess. And then I pressed and E button index equals mouse button dot left. And then we have another one like that. Why is this all red? Where did I mess up? Public override input event at event. All right. I don't know what the problem is. All right, let's just keep watching. Maybe something will show up.
But okay, now if we add a print in this if block and run our game, we...
Okay. How are you typing C#? I don't know. I'm basically what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find a way to have this 2D sprite to be interactable. Maybe? I mean, it says it's supposed to be in Godot. Granted, how much do you trust the internet, right? If it's all red, something tells me that it's because I messed up somewhere. Like a capital P or a lowercase e somewhere. Maybe. But that's a good point. I thought it did look a little familiar. So, gd print. You have clicked the police. That file has CS, so C#. Oh, wait. Damn, you right. What the hell? What? Oh, Godot 4/C? Does she move on to a different one? No, it says it is C# in using Godot. Plus extra curly brackets. Yeah, no. They are straight up using C# in Godot. Or at least that's what it's looking like. Let's look at another tutorial. Anka, thanks for the heads up. I would have been like, why isn't it working? And it's like, you're trying to speak Spanish to someone who is a native English speaker. Stop it. Point and click navigation, though, does give me the proper usage, though. Point and click navigation. Navigation logic. There's more C#. Diablo point and click like move system. Oh, that's so not what we're doing, but it might give us at least some parts. Look at all these Godot 4 C#. There are C# everywhere. Is there not point and click C#? Can I have not C# related point and click? Creating a Diablo like. Let's try the Diablo like. Let's see, because we've made the like the area in which it can move, right? We have made a navigation 2D shape, aka it shouldn't move beyond it. Like, that's what we want. We want to be able to be like, boop, I want you to go there, and I want you to go there. That's what we want. So I think as long as we ignore the idea, the fact that they don't put boundaries, maybe they do put boundaries. I don't know. It's a 30-minute video apparently. Let's look.
Guys, this is Mitch. Let's add.
All right, let's see here. Can't you get global mouse position with mouse click? That would move your target position. It would, but we want it specifically selectable to like locations. I don't want to just send the police vehicle to just anywhere on the road, right? I want to send them over to the school, or if I want to send them to like this house, I want to be able to be like, okay, I want to click the object that it belongs to, and then click to another location in which it will go straight there. I don't want them to be like, oh, I accidentally missed a little bit to the left of the house, and now the police car doesn't think that it's at that house because you didn't technically click the house, right? Plus, there's no real reason for us to need to like have it more anywhere is available for clicking, you know? Because we are currently using global mouse position for our navigation currently with the nav target position, this whole thing. And we do have that, and it is currently being utilized for, oh right, let's go ahead and just delete this real quick so that we can actually function it. We are so you can see, like with the debug, and we did this so we can actually see what is detectable inside the paths that we have created. So I should be able to like click this and then click somewhere else, but the issue also lies with the fact that it's not detecting me clicking it, which I think, which I originally thought was like, okay, it doesn't have like a collision shape or something, or it doesn't have physics applied to it or a script applied to it that would allow me that kind of interaction. So we could definitely get the position. Let's see. Nav match and setup. Camera able to move with raycast. Get into the code. Here we go. Navigation agent 2D, 3D. We're going to do 2D. We're not going to do 3D. Input event action is just press left mouse. Honestly, that might be a better way of going about it. instead of like left mouse press if we do the quotations, because if, again, I'm not 100% sure on it, but because we haven't gotten to that point yet, for accessibility, you're looking to get a signal from your click from the object. Yes, exactly. The accessibility of changing the buttons to allow better accessibility options, it will be through the change of the input map, I believe. We could be wrong and we'll have to adjust accordingly. But that means add new action. Why don't we have, does it not automatically come with, okay, well maybe that's why it doesn't understand it. It's not even in the input map. That would help. All right. Mouse left click. We'll do select. Yeah, we'll call it select, right? We have up, down, left, right, escape, enter, and then we have left mouse button. And then let me see. Joypad buttons, joypad actions. Okay. I'm getting way ahead of myself to see if there's anything on here for accessibility stuff. Doesn't look it. Okay, so left mouse button, but we have it as select. So if we put it in the code that says, hey, pull this specific thing that is now interchangeable, that means when it's changed, it doesn't mess with the code at all. It just, same formula, different variable, right? So, stop it. No, stop it. Get help. Me asking for help. Just messing. Function. This literally doesn't do anything. So let's see here. Action event if input is action just pressed. Oh, an excellent pointing out with the extra spiky brackets. I didn't click until you just mentioned it that's very much a C# thing, and I haven't seen those at all in Godot. So, good call, good call. And we'll do select. And then
go into input map right here and you add a new action. So you type something like left mouse and you enter.
And we're doing select.
And then if you come over here on the right and you click on the plus icon, it'll say that will add.
We got ahead of the tutorial. We're making so much progress.
A reference to our camera, because we're going to be
that is usually what I look for. Godot then is for C#, because I have no idea about C# and I just want to watch people do GDS script. Well, listen, you're going to watch me fumble with GDS script. I hope you're prepared for that. I have some experience with C#, a little experience with C++, but like not really totally in depth. But I am, with the exception of making this game in particular, like no clue about GD script. So it's mostly just me pulling from like the ample amount of demos that are readily available, kind of seeing how they did things, and then trying to understand what each part means and why, and then learning it through just kind of like taking it apart. And YouTube videos.
Our actual round, if that makes sense. So we'll say var camera.
I have no clue about any programming at all. I'm still learning still. You and me both. Join me on this journey. You should have seen me make the main menu. It took like 2 weeks to make a main menu. It was bad. I was stuck for so long not being able to start the game at all because there were so many like things wrong with it.
Is equal to, and we got to get a reference to our camera. And this is where things are going to get complicated because we can't just
reference
say,
to the camera.
Give me a camera. And you can do this in a lot.
Oh, right. This is a 3D area, so you're not gonna.
Ways, but the easiest way camera, and I'll pull back the first round from where to, and then you need to cast that ray cast, if that makes sense. So now we just need to get our mouse position. So we'll say var mouse pos is equal to get view port dot get mouse position, and that'll
Maybe this. The mouse position for get viewport might work. It may be overkill. Variable mouse position equals get viewport dot get mouse position. Okay.
I'll pull back my mouse position.
Does your object has area 2D, the one that you're trying to click? Yeah. No, don't worry. Like, this is not, you're more than welcome to put in your 2 cents with anything that I'm doing. If I didn't want people putting in their 2 cents with what I'm doing, I wouldn't be streaming it. Like, part of this is the feedback from y'all. Like, by all means. It is area 2D. So if we look at what I'm dealing with here, like we have, this is basically a 2-dimensional interaction in a 3D space, if that makes sense. So I have like a sub viewport in which essentially you're in a 3D, if you kind of see here, like we're in a 3D space looking at a computer screen, and all this stuff is happening in 2D space in the computer screen. So all the rules here are like path follow 2D and pathfinding 2D and stuff like that. It might be that this police shouldn't be under the pathfinding 2D. I don't know. Should have mouse entered signal. But where? And how? Because at least the coding is within the path 2D, where you can detect if click happens when it enters. So would it be something like if is action just pressed? Oh, it doesn't know what select is, but I added select. Hold on. Where? You don't have area 2D on police though? Oh! So I have to put oh, okay, so the other person that had area under the 3D. Oh, okay. So instead of like a collision shape, let's delete you. You're not doing anything for me. We do area 2D here. This node has no shape. It has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. Considering adding collision shape 2D. Okay, fine. I literally just deleted it out of just being like, I don't need you anymore. Just Andy'd this stuff. All right, throw that back in. All right, okay. And then we put you as rectangle. Okay. Your character usually does need a collision shape. I mean, that's okay. Yes, that's there needs to be some kind of physics applied to it. But when you say character, it's not character that you yourself are the only thing? Wait, is character anything that the player controls at all? Or is it just... Because I've always put it as character is something that the player has complete control of at all times. Not necessarily of something that they temporarily have it. Character body 2D. Okay. Body that is controlled by script. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and body 2D. Character body 2D. Oh. Okay. Oh, so is it character body 2D instead of area 2D? Because they seem to don't like each other. Oh, no, wait. It has no shape. Hold on. So this one needs the one. No, you already have the character body 2D. I already have the character body 2D. This collision shape was right. Okay. All right. Sorry. The delay of it all is what probably does it. So I apologize if I'm frustrating you in any way. Your character body, your police is character body 2D. Oh. Yeah. Oh wait, it is. You are completely correct. Yeah, it's right there. Alright. Okie dokie. So, with that, where's the action just pressed for select, but it's not seeing the identifier of select. Which is interesting. Because I know I added it in the project setting of select. Did I spell it correctly? Definitely did. Is this one of those things where I have to go into like the node of something and then recognize it? That was one of my biggest things with Godot that took me forever to understand, and that a lot of my issues was like I had to like define and put it into like the dictionary in a specific spot that was just so not what I'm used to. I was like, where am I supposed to go for this? It was crazy. Wait, it is if input. Okay. Oh, hold on. Capital I. Let's see if that does it. Yep, there it is. Oh, God. The capitalization is going to be the death of me. I swear. I swear, man.
And now I need to set some kind of ray length. And that's basically going to say how far we're going to... Where we... And then you need to kind of... So we'll...
Ray origin.
Position.
This seems like a lot of extra stuff that I don't need for the 2D.
Query parameter, but this. Nice. Then we're getting where our mouse is located. A length. You could only click.
Yeah, this is not what we're looking for. 2D point and click. That is a lot of variable. It is. I'm like, that's a lot of ray checking and. Okay, hold on. We're gonna watch this one again. It's C# apparently, but we're gonna.
The position. So basically, distance between our current position and our target position is below some arbitrary threshold. In which case, we'll just set it with more precisely to get all this working. So we'll move our asteroids inside this new navigation region to denote as children.
Okay.
This way, because our walls are static bodies with colliders, and you also see that our nav mesh past geometry type is set to detect both meshes and static colliders by default, it will automatically see those asteroids as navigation obstacles. And so it will punch holes in the mesh around them to prevent units from walking there. Big layer on our scene that shows us the navigation.
We did do this. We did already do this part.
Be able to use. So if you want this section, you may need to agent so that it.
Tuning your unit into a navigation agent.
Play a bit with the parameters of this agent.
Okay.
First of all,
We already did that.
Get a reference to our agent child node in our ready function. With that in place, we can now update our input event handler so that instead of setting some local target point, it instead sets the target position of the nav agent node itself. Basically, just by assigning this value to the target position field of our 2D nav agent, we're having it compute and store the best path to this point from our current position that takes into account the nav.
I really hope we don't need a different script for every single possible selectable object. I think that as long as they have the same rules applied, we could just apply them. Is it really? I wonder if it's literally just as simple as like, if press mouse button on this object, move to next mouse button click. You can use inheritance. Listen, my grandparents weren't that rich. I don't know if I could use that. How would I go about using inheritance? Also, I'm also going to Google inheritance. Inheritance. Class inheritance. Does it make them where you derive a class from another class? 15 minutes.
When you do inheritance, you
Subclass, a class where inherits properties from another class, which is referred to as superclass or derived class. Got you. So it's kind of like having common denominator applied to all the things within an inheritance, but like you can add on stuff to it after, but it won't go, it will come in from the inheritance, but it won't go back the other direction. Just kind of, am I on the ballpark here? Encompasses attributes such as class members, methods, relationship to other classes, animals, horse. Yeah, it's similar to like taxonomy, where a dog is a mammal, but not all mammals are dogs, kind of thing. Okay. I'm gonna say you can do if mouse is clicked after entering your objects 2D, select it. When exits and click a target position, move it. Could we make it so that instead of target position, it's target object, and then move to said object? You can embed all your behavior in one script and then have different types of objects pulling that. So one source. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, honestly. Is to just have that one script, because as long as the script like tells the object that it detects its own location independently. So it's like get, like, instead of get mouse position, it's like get object position or something. Or world position. And then it's well, actually, would the move script need to be different than the script that would tell it the object to get its position, or would it be the same script? Coding's hard, man. All right. But yes, I think inheritance might be the play. How to implement point-and-click application logic? Maybe that's another C#, but let's hold our breath and hope that they're not using C#. They're using C#. Mother. My object class, move to target like that, easier to use and manage. Interesting. So if select is true, then my object class would move to target on second click. Because we want the first click to select the resources, aka emergency vehicles, and then we would want this, not even the second click, because if we want to be able to actively add multiple resources if need be. My object class would be the object. The class you made, move to target would be the function in your class. Got you. Or maybe we could even make it simpler. Because it's not like we're going to be able to move the resources to each other. So we would just make it so that it's like there are two different kind of objects in the game. It's resources and it's locations. And those are the two classes. So if you click on a resource, then you then are able to move to a location. Okay. Okay. We may be cooking. It may not be edible, but we cooking. Alright. Is it class? Yeah. Class. We have I call them resources. Would it be better for me to actually give them like vehicle or something? Nah, we're doing resources. We're doing with my brain. And then class location. Let's see if I'm understanding class correctly. Godot classes. Scenes are classes. Script and scenes are both to be equivalent of classes. Classes combine data and functions. There are many predefined classes. One script can only have one class name. Got you. That makes sense. So in this case, this is class resources. Then there are resources too that extend from resource. This is not thinking it's something else, is it? Okay, good. When we want to use a class, we create a new instance to it. Class name, police character. So something like... So the class name actually, no, this makes a lot of sense now. I'm just doing it. I'm just trying to figure it out in my head. So basically, we don't want... Every resource does have its own rules applied to it. So we're going to have to separate the resources out anyway. So if we make a resource script where it applies to everything, then create an inheritance from the resource script to then add on to it, where then it's just like, oh, so all these things will have the same rules as far as movement, as far as getting from location to location, and how it interacts with different objects in the game. But then we make a second script that is specific to the individual kinds of resources where different things happen when they interact with objects under certain conditions. So for now, we'll stick with this as resources. Because I want it to pull from this. Say class name motorcycle extends. Do we need the extends node 2D here? Or it would be extends character body 2D, right? So it would be actually up here. Yeah. I just saw that on the bottom. Thank you for the heads up. So it's a part of this. That's interesting. I haven't seen any like add-on on the top here yet, so that's good. So this is the resource one. So we're gonna actually, can I rename? Can I not rename the thing? There it is. No. From the file tree. Rename. Thank you. Resources. There you go. Muchas gracias, Sensei. Let's see. So we now created a class for resources, and I've put a arbitrary value for the movements, which we could manipulate accordingly. I don't even know what word that was. That we can change according to like the feel of it, if it's too fast or too slow, and which would allow enough time to create suspense, but not so slow that people just fail to get things where they need to go accordingly. So now that that is done, we're back to making it so it's, they go on resources, they navigate the agent 2D, the physics process. I think that needs to be adjusted. Get no global mouse position. The global mouse position stays. That makes sense. Direction. The nav get next path position. This action is pressed. I have select, get mouse position, and then let's just say print. You have selected a resource for right now. Function print not found. Did I do print wrong? I don't even know how to print. Pew. Print script. Let's see it. Let's see me do it wrong. No? It's because it's capital? Yeah, it was because it was capital. Most, if I were to put things into categories as far as the most common, putting things capitalized when they shouldn't be capitalized is 100% it. All right, so then we have you. No, we got some debuggers. Adapter event is never used to function input. Mouse position is declared but never used in the block. Gotcha. Basically, I have a lot of stuff that should be doing stuff, but I'm missing pieces for it all to kind of link itself together. That's fine. That's what we're figuring out today. So, point and click navigation. Not C#. Can we do something that's not C#? Godot, let's do, instead of Godot, we'll do GDS script. Point and click navigation. I don't want A-star navigation. That's too, we don't need anything that fancy. I looked that up before. I was like, do we want this? No, we don't need that. If we were making it so it was like, send this on its way, but you don't tell it where to go, then maybe, but, what are the things I need to learn to making a point-and-click adventure game? That's why I was originally looking for the demos for like a point-and-click adventure kind of thing. Because to me, a point-and-click adventure is exactly the kind of like interaction. Because it's like, oh, I click this object, and then it's also an object that is selectable. Is there really none? Is there really none? Let's see. Point. 3D waypoints. No. How about click? No. Apparently it doesn't exist. And then we tried to download FNAF, but that didn't work. Let's see. Let's do navigation. 3D navigation demo. Navigation polygon 2D demo. Grid-based navigation. None of them are applicable. That's unfortunate. Collision 2D nodes are handling their signals for clicking areas. Okay, so we did that. Control nodes and its children. Label, dialog buttons, etc. for showing menus. Animation player for animation. 2D script for tying it all together. Cool. Point and click movement in a 2D plane. A mouse and input coordinates. Oh, hold on. This might be it. Vector 2 move toward. Okay. Returns a new vector moved towards by fixed delta amount. Will not go past the final value. So it would be something along the lines of like left click, move to vector 2, move toward. And then it would be like a different class called location. I think. The logic is there. I just need to translate it appropriately. And then let's make sure that mouse input coordinates is good. Viewport display coordinates. Godot uses viewports. Functions and nodes to obtain. Input event mouse button prints. Else if the event is input mouse button mouse motion. Got you. That's to show that it's like, oh, it's constantly determining it. Print viewport resolution is blank. It's possible to ask the viewport for the mouse position. Okay. You could use a tween. In this video, you have an example of using a tween for a ship moving to a location of a mouse click. Let's see. I was going to say, I swear to God, if it's C# again. Animate rectangles appearing, void, variable tween. Tween ease out, gym in gyms, rectangle scale, vector to 0. No. I've not had a chance to watch this one yet. It was just released today by me. If you need point and click 2D image using A star grid 2D. Maybe.
Today we're going to be looking at how to make a character move on a tile map grid using the A-star.
No, that's
grid
tile.
2D.
We don't want tile. Grid-based. We don't want grid-based. But bless this person who put code in a response in Reddit. Because not everybody does it. A-star grid. But maybe there's some nuggets here that we could potentially pull from. A-star grid, array. Target position, vector 2. Very moving function is ready. Tile map get used. Vector 2. No. No, not quite. Not quite there. We need to go to try to make a 2D game with simple point and click system. That means I've tried to make a free moving camera and the player scene centers itself around the point where you click. Okay, that's not applicable to us, but it's fine. I have the basics working, but when I move the camera, if the position the character moves to ends being incorrect, I can partially fix it by tracking how much the camera has moved in either direction and then adding that value to the position you click on, and it's mostly accurate but not quite. So variable velocity, vector 2 is 0. If action is pressed, moved left, up, right, got you. So they're not doing... If get button index, emit signal, move command started. Event position plus camera offset. Input is action pressed, shift mod. Get global mouse position for the mouse position, and then you won't have that offset. I mean, we've been using get global position. We just need to be able to get it to interact with each other. Or with themselves, more than likely. Let's see. Didn't I just click you? I just clicked you. Wouldn't click movement with turn radius. We don't want C#. We don't want C#. 2D movement overview. Okay. Start with character body 2D with two children, sprite 2D and collision shape. We have those directly underneath, right? Yep. Eight-way movement. In this scenario, you want a player to press the 4-dimensional keys. We don't want that. Rotation movement. Asteroid style. Click and move. Oh. This last sample uses the mouse to control the character, clicking on the screen. Target position. Target action pressed clicked. Target get global mouse position. Function physics process delta velocity equals position directly to target and speed. F it, let's try it. What do we got to lose besides everything? Let's see here. Okay, we did the select button. Then, if event action is pressed, target equals get global mouse position. Identifier target not declared. If event, let's do if event. Maybe? If event is action, let's do press instead of action pressed. If event dot is action pressed, we did select, then target equals get global mouse position. Oh, target equals position. That's not how you position, idealist. That is not. I didn't say that. There you go. If input. Input? Okay. Then function physics process delta velocity equals position direction to target. Tom speed. We can nix velocity. If position dot distance to target is greater than 10, move and slide. Okay, it doesn't like physics process. Oh, that's because I already have one. In that case, we'll just there you go. I'm double dipping. You can't do that. Okay. This node has no shape and can collide and interact with other objects. Consider adding a collision shape. But I do. We do. Do I need to add 2 of them? What does Area 2D do? Area 2D inherits collision objects, blah 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 blah. Region in 2D space that detects other. No, both your Area 2D and Character 2D need collision shape. Oh, good to know. I didn't think they did. Oh boy, that is not what I wanted. So we have police, we have collision 2D, and then we have area 2D, and then we have that region of 2D space that detects other entering and exiting it. Oops, general notes detects when other collision 2Ds enter or exit it. And will also keep track of which collision objects have an exited. Okay, that makes sense to have this in there. Because we want to be able to detect when it passes through, like, hey, it's there. What signals it has? The what now? You can use those. The signals. I'm assuming 5G. Would it need to be a separate script? Oh, gotcha. Input event. Yeah, it does. So it does indeed have input event. Entered area and area. Yep. area exited, which is very important because we also need to be able to detect, or the game needs to know when it leaves, as well as when it enters, because when it enters the location that you send it to, it's going to then the game's going to be like, okay, now we proceed to the benefits and or consequences for you sending to this resource to this house for this reason. Okay, let's see. Sound. No. Okie dokie. Then your areas can have their own 2D, area 2D, where they can signal that a body entered. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely plan to have that. Oh, thank you for the follow. Not much, not much. What's up with you, my guy? You picked a good place. I'm all about vibing. Just trying to, you know, make a little indie horror game about 911 operator. We certainly aren't at the scary parts yet, so still very vibe. And a lot of Google. But from what I understand, game development is a lot of looking up stuff. Especially in the beginning. But hopefully you're having a good day. Oh, you're making a horror game too? That's awesome. What you making? I gotta know. Okay, so it's not reading. So it's not moving. However, it is a lot. I think I know what I kind of need to do. It's going to be really funny, but the squares are really big, but the paths are really small. It may be that I need to make it smaller than the paths that it's in, or else it just won't move. That's the potential. Let's see. Direction normalized? Should I just... I wonder if these two aren't playing nice with each other. Because essentially I did one to make sure that it's like... that the paths are behaving appropriately, which I've now confirmed that they are. So I don't necessarily need it anymore. This is what we'll do. I'm going to delete this part for now. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to make... No. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, putting that back up. And then... So it didn't seem to work. Target get mouth position. I don't think I've done anything though. Let me double check this. No. That's area 2D. No? Where did all my things go? It is called the Showtime Rabbits. Showtime Rabbits, okay. It is about a lost diner show in the forest where the animatronics come to life and tries anything to go to the office and kill the guy that's watching the diner. And all of the animatronics are bloody and have rust, and they're metal and meat in there. That's awesome. I if you give me 3 guesses, I think I know what inspired it. Was it FNAF by chance? But no, that sounds cool, man. How long have you been working on it? Because this, if pressed click. Target get, global mouse position, physics, velocity. Huh. Does the order matter? A week of planning and I stand am. I so want to emphasize how important the pre-process planning is. That's absolutely fine. That is absolutely great. You know what? By all means, use these streams as an excuse to just kind of work on it on the side. Legit. That's kind of why I kind of like have these more like project focused streams, is so that if there's anything that y'all have been putting off or things that you want to work on at the same time, it's pretty good. Hey, Artisty, pretty good. Yourself? And like as far as this game, I started this game dev stuff. The end of July would be 3 months. Yeah, I do remember Artisty. I remember you. And so like we're coming up to like 3 months, and I was hoping to be done in 3 months. But man, it's definitely going to take more, but I am determined to finish it through. There's been a couple times where I've started game development and I've stopped. Like I participated in a game jam like 2 years ago. It was a Game Maker's Toolkit one. It was the one about time. And I remember it was like, okay, it was like right after I burned out from work. And so I ended up quitting my job. And I was like, okay, let's just give it a shot. This is like FNAF fan game. Awesome. That's awesome, man. Let's move forward on making it together, right? But no, like, and so like I had a little bit of experience doing that game jam, but then I pushed myself way too hard, way too fast, and I burned myself out by like I was like working on it like 8 to 10 hours a day for like 3 or 4 days, and I just ended up stopping from it. So like pacing is so important when it comes to this stuff, especially if you're going to make it through the long haul, to be able to like get through this and like, okay, so I'm like putting all your thoughts down on paper. Like even before I did all this, I made like a game design document where we're like, okay, so this is the direction we want to go. These are the things that we want to implement. And these are the timelines that we want to try to meet to make this happen. And like, it makes it very real, because I don't know about you, but for me, I need that structure in order to like move forward. And if I don't have the plan like thought out well enough, it's really hard for me to take that first step. I'm trying to learn modeling, robot parts, guts, blood, rusty, and more materials. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So it seems that you really love the like more of the creating the 3D assets and the effects, like the visual. It seems you're really in love with the visuals of it, which is great. It's probably going to be the most fun part of this when I'm at that stage as well. It's just unfortunately like it's something that is at the end. You have to like figure out the whole game first. You have to eat your vegetables before you can have dessert. It's that kind of mentality, you know what I mean? Because I cannot wait. I can't tell you how excited I am to write the script for the phone calls that will come into this horror game. I am ecstatic working on that, but I am straight up refusing to touch it until I get this game feeling good, and then we get to play into the horror. Then FNAF Juniors, it's a high bar, my guy, but I believe in you. I believe you got this. That is something to make your model more attractive, should I tell you? Because yesterday I was thinking about inventing something new. All right, shoot over at me in Discord. I'll check it out as soon as we're done with the stream. Granted, I don't know how far I would be able to go if I could just get this thing to move. Now the distance to check we made prior to movement. Without the test, the body would just jitter. Uncommenting the look at. But we can't get it to move at all. I do know about the banner. You can download the sample project here. 2D mover starter, movement starter, zip. Interesting. I wonder, does it move when you don't have the if statement? Just remove that? Or just the whole statement? Actually, it's completely red. Just with the move and slide? Oh, got you. Well, didn't like that. Velocity, position, direction, target speed. Or maybe we just... Yeah, thank you. Alright, let's give it a shot. Doesn't look it. Because I'm thinking... If it's the pathing that's the issue, it would still like wiggle, right? It would still like wiggle inside this box. But maybe, you know what, for the sake, I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Let's go to, let's do, my position is there. So it is... Navigation 2D. No. We want you. And we want... So position is 305 and negative 60. Try to print position velocity. Let's see here. Okie dokie. How do I... It's like print with the variable position as a velocity equals speed. Oh, got you. Movement variable equals times speed. Print. Put it under process. Yeah. I was thinking here. It was like print. Is there specific thing with print here? In order to like print position? Get position delta? Without quotes? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking like that. Is that looking solid? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Print. Direction, position, velocity. Okay. Okay. 0.018, 0.999. So that was the direction. So it doesn't seem to have position or velocity. Looks like. I'll reply once the stream's over, Artisty. So it looks like it doesn't understand its position. Your two variables are missing, so the velocity is 0. Will not move. So it doesn't understand where it is. So where does it think it is? Safe margin. No collision, no input, transform. Maybe? Is this what it thinks it is? Because where's the inside? What's inside the direction to? Here. Target times speed, where the target is its position. That should not matter, though. That is the position of the node. Oh, gotcha. So it should be target to the position. So position to position. So should the position be global position? Yeah, target is position. Which feels wrong when you put it that way. But it could be right. I don't know. What am I, a game developer? Shouldn't it be target position? So the velocity equals target position. What you have, it looks like it's just pointing to itself. Got you. So it should be like this? No. Which part should be changed then? Position dot direction to position. That is essential. That is what you have essentially. So that's why it's like, yeah, no, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be because I am where I say I am. Let's try the simplest way. So in this case, velocity equals get global mouse position speed. All right. You know what? You're right. We'll figure out the clicking part later. As long as we get it to move, that's what matters. All right, let's give it a shot. Because that we know that has worked before. Okay, so it's now... Why are you starting over here? Why are you... Okay. Let me remove this first bit. And instead... Oh, wait. Isn't there a way for me to... Is it this way? Or what was the shortcuts for this? It's like where you turn them into notes. You know what I'm talking about? Or am I thinking C#? I might be thinking C#. Control K. Okay. Now, why don't you like you? Is it because of... Maybe? No. I am baby. Let's see. Velocity, imprints direction, speed. Parse identifier directions not declared in the current scope. It doesn't... Where did I miss anything? Oh, direction. This. There we go. Okay. No movements. It's definitely detecting position now, which is good. But it itself is not moving. But why? Because there are paths applied with navigation agent. Is there any? I wonder if we have to do something special with an interaction with that. Like calling for like, hey, as long as it's within the bounds of the navigation agent, then you're good to go. Or would it automatically apply? Because the navigation is here. It's already been applied and good to go. It also worries me that this is bigger than this. So I almost want to kind of scale it down. But that would make it so small. Let's make it even smaller. Even smaller. Oh my gosh. 600? 500? There we go. And then 200? No, that is not 200. There we go. It's a police car for ants. Alright, honestly, it needs to be like that. Now, that should fit in what I have. But this is also the sprite. I feel like the collision shape is... Oh, there. Whoop. The collision shape's way up there. What are you doing way up there, collision? What are you doing way up there? Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that it has to... Where is the thing that says that it can't run into things? So the position should be, let's do, they are all messed up. You should have your police in its own scene to manage it better. Really? And then would I be able to like call on it here in a different scene? Because I thought it would be very difficult. It's like right click, save the branch as the scene. Do. Associate tiled scene. Make scene root. And you can add as many scenes into a scene as you like. Now that's fair. Screen. All the way down. Delete nodes? Open documentation, access unique nade copy, save branch as a scene. Thank you. Alright. Police. Scenes. Police. And then we go to police. We have that, we have that. Transform, bring that back. Position, bring that back. Now if you click on this scene icon, you can have your police only and have all nodes position 0, 0. Yeah. 0, 0. 0, 0. That's not a thing. Oh, it also brought the navigation agents with us. Am I correct in putting the navigation agent under the police? Or should the police be under the navigation agent? Did I flip that? Because I feel like there's probably go the other way around now that I think about it. I might flip it. I am also not familiar with that. Oh. Okay. I have a feeling I should flip it. Where is the main game 3D? We're just gonna I'm gonna copy this. And then paste. What don't you like? Can only be used under node 2D inheriting parenting node? Okay, so it didn't like it. I just don't think... No. I think I should go with my gut here. Have that. Have the police. Maybe, like, underneath that? Nope. Your character 2D is a node 2D. You can put it under it. Yeah. Navigation 2D2. Okay. And then we're going to go under here and we're going to go ahead and get rid of you. Collision shape, police 2D, police, area 2D, collision shape. Okay. And then this one can be turned to 2D. Why? I deleted the other two. The other one should be... Okay, fine. It wants to be 2? Fine, we'll be 2. Everything looks like it's... There we go. And And then this, the collision shape, is one that we need to manipulate. Because we need to make sure that the collision shape is less than the roads that it's driving on, right? This, like the look of it is bigger so that we can see it appropriately, but and then area 2D is also the same. But the collision shape of area 2D is much less of a physics interaction and much more of a indicator. So I think that's one where it's like we hit some of these things, right? The disabled collision shape has no effect in the world. No. One-way collision? So that's whether the collision shape should only detect collision on one side? No. Because I want the detection to be the whole symbol, but I want the movement to be within the bounds of the roads that it's currently in. Hey, cute boy, how you doing? Welcome to bashing my head against a wall, the game dev journey. Hopefully you're having a good one. So I'm thinking, let's kind of increase the scale a little bit. Let's do 1.25, 1.5. Okay. So we have that in there. And then now, and I'll do this for all the resources as well. And then for this collision shape, we do the opposite. We go 0.5. Maybe that will be enough. We'll see. If anything, it'll start bouncing around inside. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to see it bounce around in that little container that we have it. Logically, player's collision should be around its body size. Area 2D is for detection if you'll use it as a detection. So it can be as big as you are wanting to detect an area. Yeah. Yeah. So change the area 2D detection to be about the same size as the indicator. Though I am in agreement that the collision should be the same size of it. In this case, it's more or less of the character is kind of blown bigger than what it actually is, just for the fact that the player can see the damn thing. See the car, because otherwise the car is going to be so small. Because if we look over at the main game, these roads are small. Like trying to track like a little car drive around here, it needs to be blown up so that they can actually see like, okay, this is where it's going. So it in this case, I believe having the actual collision of it, or my car is too big. Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to get the collision down. Add a zoom feature. Add a zoom feature. Interesting. I honestly didn't even consider a zoom feature. Because if we'd added a zoom feature, then we would really need to make sure that the details were in the map. This is supposed to be an old monitor on a old-ish computer. Not necessarily like, oh, this is definitely in the 90s, but it is or like early 2000s, where you have the big blocky white computers. It's less as like, oh, this is recent, and more of a, oh, we work for the government and they haven't updated our technology for like a decade. So wanting to kind of add the more like old-ish effects to it, kind of not having to go super hard into resolution. But if we added a zoom in feature, I think it would exasperate that in a negative way, potentially. We're trying to think it through. But it also might be kind of funny. It was just like, you zoom in on the car, it's 3 pixels big. It's like, yeah, that looks like a police car, I guess. I mean, it could also just be the fact of like, I just need to make my map bigger, or I need to make the roads bigger in general. Thank you for the stream. I shall be heading to bed. All right. Thank you for your input. It is invaluable, truly. And thank you for the follow. I would love to have you again. I mean, I wouldn't sacrifice game clarity for game atmosphere. Fair. You can also add a camera 2D. Hope I didn't mess it up or confuse you. No, if anything, you gave me some clarity, and it was wonderful having your expertise. Truly. It was great. Especially the different scene thing. I think the different scene thing is going to help smooth things over in the future. So that definitely very smart. I hope you have a good night's sleep. But you have a point there, cute boy. Sacrifice game clarity for game atmosphere. Well, that's why I just had them more blown up. Because essentially the idea is, right? You can where's the where are you? Where are you? I'm so sorry. And then we just take this position. I'm already messed it up anyway, so it don't matter. And then like you just see this thing driving along the roads like this. And then you're doing your thing, you're answering phone calls, you're doing this, and then it like stops by like this house, and then it goes like this. Obviously, it's still way too big right now. I made it this big temporarily so that I can see what I'm doing. And I made them so they fit in there. But that's kind of the idea. If anything, I would say like the scale is like maybe that big. Ish, I think is like good. Maybe it should be smaller. Because I'm thinking like, okay, so what if I have like 2 cops in an ambulance in the same spot? That's gonna it's gonna be, where is it? Where's the location? Where are they supposed to be? Maybe. I'll consider it. I shall consider it. But first, we'll see if at least the idea that I have for reduced collision shape so that it can... Because all I want for the collision... Oh, wait a minute. The collision shape isn't just for... The collision shape isn't just for manipulating the road. The collision shape is also for clicking on it. So if I make it small, and they're like, hey, I want to send this police car, have them look one time like FNAF. Add some stress. Interesting. To have it in like quadrants And then it's like, you have to go left, then up, then right, like, or down right, etc. Maybe. As far as adding suspense and stress, the original plan was seeing the vehicles slowly drive over to their location. 4 different monitors. That's a lot of monitors. I only got 2 monitors. Why do I give them? Why do I give them more monitors? That way you could make the map bigger. That's true. If you want to see, I mean, I was already gonna manipulate the size of the monitor anyway, because like currently it's like squished. You can kind of see it down there. It's just kind of like, burnt. So I was already gonna like make it so it's more wide. And I did kind of already quadrant it in a way, like split it into 4 parts. So would they be able to see the whole thing all together, or would they be kind of switching between the monitors and they see one at a time? One at a time? Okay. Okay, I see where you're at. That's honestly not a bad idea. It's really not. Because then, you know, they start flipping to this other side. Especially if we move forward with the idea of utilizing the point to the house bit, because I mean there's a handful of ways that we could have tackled it, right? I wanted to do the simple thing first, but we can kind of tackle all the different variations of this now because we're thinking about it. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. The original idea was that we get a phone call. We're like, hey, we need to send something over. We then go and click the appropriate resources that we think is what is necessary for that situation. We click all that applies. And then we go to that house, and then we click that house. And then it will send it to that house. So that's option 1. After reading accessibility options, I was less and less sure about that. 2, there could be, when the phone call arrives, there are options that are selectable as far as what you send over. So instead of selecting the actual resource on the map, you instead click like police and then add like a plus button or something to it. So it's just like, I sent 2 police cars and 1 fire truck, and then click enter, and then it'll just automatically send it to that location of the phone call that you are currently on. But the idea of utilizing multiple screens almost kind of point in the direction of the first one. That could make it interesting, because then it's like, I have to find that house. What house do they live at? Right? And then it's like, okay, it's not on this screen. I have to go check on this screen. Is it on this screen? Is it on this screen? And then once you find the house, then you can finally send them there. Or maybe third option, you would select the house, and then you'd be like, there would be like a little thing that pops up. It's like, what do you want to send there? And then you send it accordingly there. I'm just trying to think of what would be the best option for selecting the resources to send. Would it be better to just, originally it was, just click on the vehicles. There's like a little thing on the bottom right-ish area that's just kind of like a mini overlay that shows all the vehicles that you have available, and when any of them get destroyed or unusable, they become gray, right? They're like normal, colored, etc. And then when they're out, they're very much overshadowed with opacity, etc. Right? And that was the original intent. But especially in the sense of there's positives and negatives here, because if we do it so that the player doesn't need to select the vehicle directly, then we don't need to, we can kind of move forward with the idea of reducing the collision shape without having to worry about people like trying to click on the vehicle. So then it's just like, okay, we could just make it less, because people aren't going to be clicking it anyway. The only thing the collision shape is going to dictate is where it fits on the road, right? But if we make it so that it is selectable, then we need to have the collision shape as big as the vision of it, so that when people try to click on it, they're not like, why is it not clicking, right? But then it would need to be the size of the roads, because then it would need to be able to interact with the roads accordingly as well. So then it would make them really small. Okay. I don't think we'll move forward with having the resources being directly clickable. Instead, we will have representations of those vehicles in kind of like an overlay kind of situation. I was originally thinking the bottom left area, because in the bottom left area is just the fire truck facility, the police facility, and then the hospital, and then ambulance, like EMT, like facility, right? So like this section should be the last thing that you have to worry about. And maybe having where you're kind of like, this is the last bit that's not taken over yet, or you're over, like you lose all your resources, the overlay could go away. And then suddenly you see yourself, right? Because the player is here. They're in the bottom right place. The infection starts on the top left, and then the bottom right is where you are. So having that overlay gone, I think adds a little bit of extra oomph of how screwed you are. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't send anything. Like that added feeling of helplessness, of I can't send anything even if I wanted to. And you watch as all these other locations are red and blinking, and you'll watch as the locations that are nearest to you get taken over, in whatever kind of indication that we want to give that a location has been taken over. We can just use the hypothetical turn red, whatever, and watch all these greens turn red around you, and then you just wait until it's your turn. I kind of like that. Adds a little bit of weight to it that I'm enjoying. Okay. So, not clickable. So I do want to move forward, keep on moving forward with having them blown up. Bigger than the road. We don't have to make them nearly as problematic as they are now. I am liking the idea for multiple screens as a potential. It adds another level of hidden information that horror so loves to eat. But I'm not 100% convinced on it yet. So we're going to put a pin on it, at least for now. Certainly we're going to come back to it before we finalize any kind of map stuff, or when we're starting adjusting the actual 3D world image of it. Definitely. Man, I can't wait to start writing the scripts for this stuff. That's gonna be a favorite part, y'all. I'm gonna be putting that in the title of the stream. I'm gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so much fun. Just making the scenarios of like creating that narrative. So good. All right. Anyway, so making this smaller. So we need to make this small enough so that it's able to move around. So now that this is here, this doesn't do anything. Tangle, but to do. And then we want main game 3D. And then we want police. Position. Let's see here. Let's make this 300? 400? I thought it was 600. I was overthinking. Nope. It's 500. And then down here is 300. It's 250. Now, why are you like that? Why are you... No. Is it you? Is it you? Okay, something... Why is some of it up, but some of it not up? Collision? Why am I moving? I'm moving this here. Which is fine. But then there's so much other stuff up here. Where? Let's see. Disabled, position, 0, 0, scale is good to go. Skew visibility. Where? Oh, where should we do? That's the actual thing that people see. That's fine. That's more than fine. And then we have the collision shape of this, of the area 2D of detection. So this one is just detecting things, which we want the same shape. That's fine. In fact, we'll make this like 1.6. Yeah, perfect. Then we go over here. Why? Oh, so area 2D is also on here? Okay. So if I go to the area 2D, wait, does this need area 2D? Wait. Hold on. This has the area 2D. So what the heck? What are you? What are you doing here? We don't need you. Yes. Navigation 2D is here. That's fine. That makes sense. That is what allowing them to navigate through everything. So this one, so that's where the problem was. Okay. And then transform position 600. I did the same thing again. It's almost like I didn't learn from the first place. Let's go 250. What I don't understand is why is that being that way? Why am I not seeing the... Is it still looks like... The ambulance... not ambulance, the... Yeah. It's still... I made this go over here, but it's still not making it the one thing? The one piece? I feel like I only moved the collision. And that's it. I didn't move both. When I select the police, which should have been everything. Let's see here. Let's move this again. So if I... That doesn't move that away. That moves that away. So it's definitely in there somewhere. Now why? For the love of all that is holy. If I did that. If I go back... Let me see something. What if I completely do that? If I go over here, does it do anything? No, it does absolutely nothing. Okay, I just wanted to see. I was thinking like maybe then I can... I don't know. It, for whatever reason, doesn't want to combine all these? What if we did that? It really didn't like that, so we're not going to do that. Then, let's see. I want to say it was the area. It's not... What if we did this? Maybe? Maybe? And now we go to the police and we change the position. It's smaller. Why is it smaller? Why is it smaller now? What did I do to make it smaller? It's not. What do you mean? Why did it shrink? It's because there's the police 2D and then there's the area 2D. Transform is 1-to-1. And then that's... I guess we'll do that. Now let's see what happens. Are you still weird? It's still weird. How? How did that make it smaller? So if I put this back out here, and I'm like, collision shape, yes. Oh, I won't even mess with that part. I won't even mess with that part yet. And then I go back here, and I go back here. It's normal again. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. I'm thinking about putting the character thing underneath the sprite. Like, the police is not this character. The character body is not the topmost. It should be underneath the sprite. But it doesn't want to. Which I guess makes sense, considering. Let's see what happens if I do this. F it. No, did absolutely nothing. It did absolutely, positively, absolutely nothing. Maybe by the end of July, I'll actually get these things to move. A man can dream. Or a dodo could dream, I should say. Why not? Can I, like... Let's see something. What if I did boom? And then boom. And then put this under that. Now, if I did this and transformed this, funnily enough, yeah. Yeah, that worked. I don't know how, but it did. So in that case, I'll go back here and I'll go ahead and just, there you go. Why is that still there? I know what it is. What am I doing? I know exactly what it is. It's this. Let's see it. Come on. Oop. Let's move this back. Let's delete this. And then no? It's still there. Why? I deleted the thing. Okay, that didn't do it. Alright. I mean, we could also just do this and just do like 0.75. 0.5? No, that's 0.5. No. It did get smaller, didn't it? Let's see it again. 0.6. Yeah. Okay, so that's still in here. Why is it that when I'm trying to move this place, they're not linked? We're gonna move that. We're gonna have you go back over there. So they aren't linked at all, or at least this node is only transforming part of it. Why? You should be transforming all of it. So underneath police, should be under there. So when I transform police, everything should be transformed. Okay. So then when I go and I put 500 and 250, why is it that only the rigid the collision is being moved, but the sprite isn't? And we know that it's only this that's doing it, because when we, like, not mute it, blind it, toggle the visibility of it, pocket sand, it removes it completely. So we know this and this are linked, but they're not. They're not linked. Not really. For whatever reason, it's I'm able to manipulate the collision shapes in the area, like these, but not the sprite. Why? Why am I not allowed to manipulate the position of the sprite? Now, what I could do, potentially, depending on how this works, is do 500 by 250 here. That did nothing. Why would it? It's a completely different instance. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I like the different scene. That's fine. But however, it has now made a situation in which is it navigation agent? No, right? That would make no sense. There's nothing to visibly see with a navigation agent here. We have the collision shape and then that collision shape. Let's see what happens when we turn this into the, what was it, 1.6? Okay. So increasing that accordingly did work. So it's definitely that collision. Oh, at least we'll know. Funnily enough, maybe we should take advantage of this and be like, okay, cool. That middle one is way too big still. Right? Maybe we should just take advantage of this. This is still way too big. 0.3. 0.2? I mean, what we could do, we'll do 0.2 for now. We'll do 0.2, but more than likely we'll be shrinking it anyway. So when we shrink it, we'll grow. It's a whole thing. We'll counterbalance it. 0.2. Um, 0.15, just in case. There you go. It'll bounce around a bit because we didn't make it, but I'm worried that 0.2, with it being the exact width of what I'm working with here, will create instances where it won't go through because it's like a little bit narrower in some places versus others, especially like around corners and stuff. Maybe we should Google it. Maybe we should. Idealist? Maybe we should. Godot. Sprite not moving with rigid body. Okay, cool. Good job. Sprite. Do you mind not lagging? Sprite not moving with rigid body. Collision shape not moving with parent, maybe? It's not exactly what we're running with, but it's something. Why would a collision shape not move with the parent rigid body? How do I fix this error? Setting the position or velocity of a rigid body or its collision shape is not supported and should be avoided. You should use forces instead. The reason you're not getting collisions is likely because the physics object is not where your visual instance is. Oh, is footage recorded? Setting the position of a rigid body or collision shape is not supported and should be avoided. You should be using blah blah blah. That indeed was a problem. I had no idea how rigid bodies worked. Thank you. I chose to switch the ball to an area 2D instead and change the signal to area entered to be easier for my purposes. Cool. That doesn't help me, unfortunately. Maybe it should be sprite 2D not moving. I'm guessing I accidentally hit an odd key and enabled some feature I'm unaware of, but I could not get some help for this. It looks like to be somewhat related to the animation tree. If I set processing mode to disabled, I can move them again. No. This will work. I haven't changed anything else. If it's not displayed, play the animation once. If it still doesn't work, let me know. I'll follow up. Having to work with a tree disabled and keying the new position, the reset track. That makes no sense to me. Sprite not animating when moving. My character does not animate, but it doesn't move. Is it because of the script? wouldn't be, right? It's nothing to do with that. Just for shiggles, let's just see what happens when we play it. Yeah, no, it's still just chilling up there on the top left. Yeah, no. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh. Duh. There you go. I was like, why isn't it working? Huh. Transform, 0, 0. Collision. Move, floor, grounded. Floating. Slide on ceiling on. During jump against the ceiling, that doesn't... The feeling will slide. There's no jump, so I guess it doesn't matter, but... It's underneath. And then when... I'm going to do something stupid real quick. It's not there. Okay. Nope. Yep. Okay. The police did not do anything. Police 2D. I also don't see anything again. Is it because I didn't save? There it is. Okay, let me do it again. Please. Save. It's saved, right? Yep. Not linked. And I can delete you. Okay, that's gone. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna undo that. We're gonna copy you. I feel like I just did this and checked it and then it didn't do it. I finished the head of my animatronic inspired by one in real life animatronic. Want to see it? Yeah. Actually send... I have a Discord in the socials. Send it to me on there. I would love to see it. I love to see y'all's progress. What was I doing? Yes. I was gonna do... And then put the police under that. And then I would go to police. And then I would delete that. And then... Okay, so now I will take this and I'll transform it into 500 into 250. What? Why is it transparent? Let's see here. Go ahead and put it under game development. General chat. I'll make one for sharing, you know, assets and stuff like that later. Oh, sorry. One of the things that, as far as, you know, skills for people to develop, one of them was art, and I kind of went really hard into the art one. And if it's confusing, let me know. I can try to clean it up a bit. Now, why? Why is this? Why isn't? Why do I have a sneaking suspicion I shouldn't be underneath Pathfinding 2D? Let me see something. No. Why does it look like that? Ooh. That looks good, dude. I like it. You're very talented, by the way. Did you make that, what software did you use? That's a really good 3D model. I've always struggled with, I think the most I've made in Blender was, I think I made a spider at one point. I was trying to get certification, and I did a spider in Blender that I was really proud of, but you did a good job. It looks very, it looks like all the parts belong there, and they look like they interact with each other. So I'm excited to see what else you do. Keep on keeping on it. Should I figure out where the heck this is bluey? Okay, so it's fine. It's just that. Okay. All right, that's fine. So now we're gonna save this. Wires and latex, mask, and fur. Are you planning to also do that in Blender, or are you planning to use something else for fur? I wonder how you would do a latex mesh. Learning how to do meshes is also one of those things where it's just like, it's that beautiful, perfect, like in between of art and science that I want to get more familiar with, because a lot of math goes behind it, but what you create is just very realistic and beautiful, like meshes and things. So are you planning on trying to make it yourself, or are you going to try to utilize other outside assets and apply to it? What was I doing? Oh, we're testing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Honestly, I think even if it's not up to the level that you want it to be, learning how to make it yourself gives you such good insight on what it takes to get it done. But also, then it's like, if you know how it works, even if you still then utilized outside assets, you can then know how to manipulate the outside assets to be closer to what you want to use it for. So it's like, oh, I love that fur, but if it was just a little scragglier and a different color, it would be perfect. You would know how to properly do that. So I am definitely in the same boat of just like, I'm going to try my best to try to make everything on my own and then try to learn how to properly do things through that way. So that's awesome. Oh, right. Oh, is it still open? It is. Close the program. And okay. So it sees it. So I now have a location. Right? I have a location. It's still not moving, but it's there. Let's see. If we go back to here, and then I were to say, I would make this scale like, all right, cute boy, good luck with work. Good luck with surviving. I believe in you. Let me know if there's anything I can do on my end. Let's do that. Okay. It's not moving at all. All right. That's fine. I'll say if maybe that was... it was still not reacting to it. Okay, so now I think it's a script problem. Direction, get mouse, global mouse position. Velocity, get global mouse position times speed, 300. Move and slide, and then print direction. So we should be moving. We should be grooving. But we're not doing either. So why? Why do you not move? Let's see what happens when we click. I wasn't even clicking. Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. You don't move at all. What if we did... this? Why not? We'll just slowly undo things and see if... Oh. Okay, you didn't... Oh. Target position, null instance value of vector 2. What'd I do wrong? What didn't you like? Global mouse position. Navigate to target position. Vector 3. Is vector 3 for vector 3D? Let's do vector 2. See what happens. F it. Start. Nope. Didn't like that. Alright, fine. Close the program. I didn't even want it anyway. Let's do hashtag. Kind of make that into notes. Nothing. So that did nothing. So it still doesn't want to move. What if we removed it from the pathfinding 2D? What it should happen is that it will move Because if we remove the pathfinding part to it, it should just move to where the mouse is, right? It should just move towards it. So I want to see if it's a navigation problem. No. Okay. Let's go ahead and... What did I do? What is this? What did I do? I undid stuff here. This? I don't even remember what I did to make this. Oh, this. There you go. So it's not a navigation issue. Or well, yeah, essentially. Not a navigation issue, but it is... It's not applying to it. So why? Is it better that the script... Let me attach resources, detach script. What if it was that? What happens? Didn't like that. Oh, right, because it's not a character body too. Okay. Okay. Let me try something. Doesn't want to do that? What if we do this? What does it look like? It's no longer attached to it anymore. Because I have a sneaking suspicion all this stuff is going to happen, and then because it doesn't apply to the police 2D, it doesn't do it. So I've quote-unquote fixed it, and by quote-unquote fixed it, I gave it the look of, oh, it totally moves at the same time until it decides to do what I want it to. Which might be the case where it actually is moving, but only the rigid body is moving. Maybe the police 2D was never going to move in the first place. Oh boy. Actually, no. This is exactly what I need to do. And then just do this. Transform? Yeah. And then if I go back to here, there it is. Way up there. Get rid of you. And then for whatever reason, it will just straight up refuse. But why? Why doesn't it consider the sprite as the same? Because it's able to detect the collision shapes just fine. When we change the nose for the transformation, it updates accordingly. But the 2D sprite, it will not. It will not adhere to the shapes. And then if I do this, it gets mad at me. Because I was thinking, like, what if I put the shape underneath the police ID 2D? That makes sense, right? Let's look. Let's look. Let us look at making sprites with rigid body. Rigid bodies. Oh, sprite 2D with rigid body. Intro to rigid body 2D, character to rigid body interaction. I just want to see where they put everything together. They made everything into different scenes, which is fine, which is great. We've learned to do that now. It's almost like to put it into more like artists or digital artists. It's like putting everything into folders. The more folders you have, not necessarily the more folders the better, but the cleaner it is. They have the coding, but they're not showing me how the scenes are sorted. Actually, this might... Oh man, that is crunchy. Are they gonna show me how you sorted it? Actually, they kind of are doing what we're looking at here. Variable direction, get position normalized, apply impulse vector 2. Input event is action pressed mouse click. Then it will get global mouse position. Global mouse position minus the position normalized, and then apply impulse, probably just like a force application. Direction times 800. Neat, but not what we're looking for. Working with rigid body. Body's behavior is adjusted via lock, freeze mode, float pools, methods, signals. The signals we're gonna mess with as far as body entered and body exit. That's fine. We're gonna do the 2D body for area 2D, right? But we're not at that point yet. Let's see. Is there anything on here? Visibility, ordering, texture. And when I Google it, I got nothing. I got literally nothing. So why convert to mesh instance 2D, convert to polygon 2D? Why would I want to do that? Let's see. Maybe we just look at the make our sprite 2D. 2D texture. The texture is displayed on the region from a larger atlas texture or frame. Full centered. Full false. Cut from a larger texture. Method descriptions. Returns a rect 2 representing the sprite 2's boundary and local coordinates. Okay. Excellent. Cool. 2D graphics and sprites. Let's see. Are you gonna decrunchify for me, Captain? Let's see. Okay. Creating sprites. How old is this? 6 years. Okay, this is probably old. Okay, never mind. I was looking at it and I'm like, what? Animation tutorial. Not quite. How to use 2D sprite and Godot. Animation button followed by new. Name the new animation walk. That's talking about animation. That's not even answering the question. How do I add images to sprites? Add layers for introduce animation. That's not what I'm talking about, my guys. I literally just want you to show me like why is my it doesn't follow it at all. It follows this collision shape and it follows this collision shape. I'm probably gonna see it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Why? Pickable? If true, the object is pickable. A pickable object can detect the mouse pointer entering or leaving. If the mouse is inside it, report. Okay, it is pickable. Police is a pickable thing because it's going to be like a you hover over it and then it will like highlight. So that is something that we're doing. Disable mode. What is this? Defines behavior of physics when process mode is set to disabled. Bring it to the physics simulation. Make static. Make the body static. I don't know. I don't know nearly enough. I think my brain is numb. We have certainly tried our best. Here. I'm not seeing a way. We might have to tackle it with a fresh outlook here. What we managed to learn as far as this time around, utilize different scenes for pretty much everything. Anything that's complicated. So in this case, the computer screen should be a completely different scene. The 3D game, so I have the main 3D game. I should have a separate scene for the main game, right? So like this, and then just copy it over. And then it's the same for the police, the ambulance, etc. And then also just like it will be one for each of the different locations as well, because why not, right? Well, actually, probably not the different locations. I'll think about it. Because that's a lot of different locations. And for the most part, it's especially if we do the inheritance thing where we do like a location inheritance and then offshoot off of that. But oh, there's 5 FNAF right there. Why is there FNAF in this? Why are you? Why is FNAF here? Delete. Remove. That's why I kept opening it. I need to like not have anything open for me to look at it. Fine. We have the roundabout. Yeah. Look at it one more time. I'm a crazy person expecting something different. Yeah, my brain is numb. We also don't necessarily have nearly enough time to jump on a new game for a little bit. But, so we're probably just going to call it a little bit early. I think from now on, we're going to switch our game dev and game days. So I'm noticing a trend as far as like the days that I'm not feeling super great with it. Yeah. Yeah. You too, my guy. And keep me up to date as far as your models and stuff like that. I want to see the progress of this. I think it's going to be really cool. Excellent. So I'm thinking of switching the game dev days from Monday and Thursday to Tuesday and Friday. And then Monday and Thursday will now be when we play games and stuff. So, with that being said, thank all of you who have joined me here today. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And maybe I'll see y'all on Sunday stream, where we just kind of chill and relax and go over our week and what we plan on next week. All right. Have a good one.